Hi, I'm T.R. Williams, County Executive.
Hi, I'm Keith Durham, Mayor of the City of Lawrenceburg, the birthplace of Southern gospel music and the home of David Crockett.
Hi everybody, I'm Alan Betts. I'm host president of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series held in Lawrenceburg.
On behalf of the citizens of Lawrence County,
I want to welcome you to the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series.
PSEC Productions, in association with K2 Media, proudly presents the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network and X Sports TV Online. Now live from the birthplace of Southern gospel music and the land of Crockett. With Cam Mashburn, here's Kevin Kilpatrick.
2015 Babe Ruth World Series in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. It is a beautiful day for baseball, folks. I'm Kevin Kilpatrick along with Cam Mashburn. And what a great day. It's been 2 years in the making, and it is finally here. Beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. What do you know about Lawrenceburg, Tennessee? Well, it's a population of around 15,000 folks. Lawrenceburg is named after War of 1812 Navy officer James Lawrence. It's situated on the banks of the Shoal Creek in southern middle Tennessee. It's about 80 miles south of Nashville, to give you some idea of proximity. Lawrenceburg is the home of American folk hero, frontiersman, soldier, and politician David Crockett. It's also the birthplace of Southern gospel music and the James D. Vaughn Gospel Museum. Who else is from here, you ask? Senator actor Fred Thompson is from Lawrenceburg. Actor Michael Jeter is from Lawrenceburg. You've probably heard of the musician John Paul White from the Civil Wars. He is from Lawrence County, right down the road from Lawrenceburg here. And one of the guys that most people will recognize in this arena is David Weathers. He is from the Lawrenceburg area, and he is going to have a team in this tournament. We'll get more into that in just a little bit. Stick around for that. Now this season, 8 region champions from across the country are competing in the World Series. The Tennessee champions from Giles County, and Lawrenceburg's teams were included by virtue of hosting the tournament. And the 8 regional teams will include teams from the Pacific Northwest. And from the Pacific Northwest is Westminster, California. And we're going to be Westchester, California. Forgive me. And we're going to be going over the lineups in just a second. From the Northwest region, it's Glacier, Montana. Winning the Midwest Plains region, Fargo, North Dakota. From the Ohio Valley region, it's going to be Eau Claire, Wisconsin. From the New England region, it's going to be Pittsfield, Massachusetts. From the Middle Atlantic region, it's going to be West End in Pennsylvania. And from the Southeast region, Sarasota, Florida. And from the Southwest region, Southern Brazoria County, Texas. And that's going to be the teams we talk about in just a second. I have with me my broadcast partner, Cam Newton. And Cam, why don't you kind of go over the field of play and how this tournament's going to work out?
Well, I wish I was Cam Newton, because that would be
Cam Mashburn.
Now I would be rich. I wouldn't be here. But no, basically this is a pool play. The first few days are going to be a pool day. There's going to be take the top 2 teams from each pool, and from that point you'll go to a single elimination. And after single elimination, the championship game will be played on Thursday, and the goal obviously is to be in the top half of that pool. There's 2 separate pools, and we start game number 1 of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series right here, right now.
All right, the Pacific Southwest region, Westchester, California, will be matching up with the team representing the Southwest region, Southern Brazoria County, Texas. And coming up next, we're going to show you some footage from the Skills Challenge, which was held yesterday. So stick around for that. That is coming up next. You are watching and listening to the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Texas, number 17 competition. Only around the horn. Well, mainly to give our officials an opportunity that everything is set to go.
Difference, would you rather it to the dark or to light?
Just
There we go. Boy.
Come on, dude.
Well, folks, we are not going to have time for that skills challenge footage. We will bring that to you on another broadcast because we are almost set for baseball action here at the 2015 World Series. California and Texas. Westchester, California is taking on Southern Brazoria County, Texas. And we will kind of get the lineups as they come up to bat. And it's going to be an exciting matchup. Cam, there's a lot on the line for this.
There is, and you know the first game is always important, but like I said, the pool play is very important. A loss doesn't kill you, like it don't send you home necessarily, but there will be, chances are, somebody out of this group, this pool that goes undefeated. So one, possibly two losses is all you can afford. I don't even know that you can have two, really. I think it's a one loss or undefeated moves you on. So one loss in your back pocket early on could really, really put your team under the gun.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough go if you do end up with two losses to start this thing out with.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at the regionals that these teams went through. South Brazario County, they had a pretty tough way of it. They went through the losers bracket. They got in the losers bracket, went the long way of getting there, ended up winning their regional, and to get here. Now, the California team, on the other hand, had it a little easier. You know, people from these parts remember El Segundo. They were the champions back in 2013 in Williston, North Dakota, in this same age group. At that point, it would have been the 13-year-olds. They were put out in the state. They didn't even make the regional. So this California team is really tough. El Segundo has a great program, but so does Westchester. They have a great Babe Ruth program. They got here. They went all the way through the winners bracket, made it all the way through. They're sitting here, and they're on a roll. So it's going to be a good game.
It is going to be an exciting matchup. And pitching in this first matchup for Westchester, California will be Mason Goodman. And he throws a fastball. He's got a little bit of a slider. He's got working. And batting first for Southern Brazoria County, Texas, is going to be number 1, Andrew Arizmendi. And it is a beautiful day, folks. Lots of sunshine today, and not expecting any inclement weather at all for this evening's games. A slight chance of rain coming into the forecast coming up over the weekend. And here we are, first pitch. It is a called strike to start the 2015 World Series. from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
And Andrew Batten, he's a Texas A&M fan, so he's used to the SEC part of the country.
0-1 count. Bunt attempt. He'll go to 0-2. Mason Goodman with a little wrinkle on that pitch.
He's not a tall batter. He's barely 5 foot tall, but I'm assuming early on.
The 0-2. Outside. Mason Goodman showing some off-speed stuff early on. Low again, 2-2.
We got a little bit of it. This is the first pitch. This is the first game of the World Series. They're going to try to find their groove, so it's probably a little bit of nerves to get started off here for both sides.
Another inside pitch. That's 3 balls in a row for Goodman. The count is full for Arizmendi from southern Brazoria County, Texas. Pitch right down the middle. There's a chopper to short. On to first. Out number 1.
Now coming to the plate, Tyler Reinhardt.
And Mason Goodman, some interesting note about him. They're from California, but his favorite team, Kevin, is Vanderbilt.
Oh.
How does that happen?
Kind of like that around here, around these parts.
That's right. Of course, Vanderbilt was a finalist in the College World Series this year and national champions the year before.
It's Tyler Reinhardt up to bat. 0-1 count. And right down the middle. Quickly 0-2 to Tyler Reinhardt. And that's strike 3. Swing and a miss. 2 down quickly. Mason Goodman hitting the strike zone. Tyler Reinhardt. No score early on. 2 down though. And Mason Goodman has found the strike zone. There's a chopper to second base. Bobbled, recovers, and not in time.
That may go down as an error for the second baseman. Like a pretty routine play there, just kind of bobbled it a little bit. Was late first. Sabante had some good speed coming out of the batter's box, was able to beat it out.
And that should go down as an error. Nathan Trevino up to bat with 2 down, no score. Top of the first inning from the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Goodman from the stretch. There's a grounder to short. Makes the short throw to second base, and that is out number 3. No score after a half inning. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance, and modesty.
Feel free to hook me up if you want.
Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name: Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
Off.
The Westchester team is, the most of the other World Series team, Kevin's, I've noticed, have the kind of the pullover, breathable jerseys. The Westchester team went with the old school button up, and I really like that look. I'm an old school guy.
Got the pant legs up high to show those socks.
The socks.
Like that.
A lot of people are digging the socks. I've heard a lot of people yesterday at the skills competition really commenting on their socks.
1 ball, no strikes, no score here in the bottom of the first inning. Shows bunt, does Michael Gonzalez, and is going to take that one for a ball.
I was watching a lot of teams today practice, and that was one thing they all worked on. They made every hitter before they got to take any live swings is to work on bunting. They were all working on it, so that's obviously something that's going to be a big part of the game.
And that ball inside as well, 3-0. Already have a nice crowd on hand here at Tom Cruise Field in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. And there is the first strike.
Again, it's going to take these pitchers a couple of arm motions, going through the motions, kind of find their groove.
3-1. There's a flare in right center field. It'll drop in for a hit. So Gonzalez reaches for Westchester.
That was a great swing, stepping into it and driving it right back up the middle.
Morales up to bat, Adrian Morales for Westchester. 1 on, no out. Bottom of the first inning, no score.
Another Vanderbilt fan. They've got a few of them on this California team.
Vanderbilt puts out a quality baseball product, so it's nice to see. Snared by the third baseman, on to second, on to first, but not in time for the double play. What a nifty play.
It was. Great play by the third baseman. Got it to second base. He was a little slow getting it out of his glove to make the turn, but nonetheless, you get that lead runner. That's the one you want.
Nathan Trevino over at third base for Southern Brazoria County, Texas, snaring it to his right side and throws on to second, gets the lead out, but not able to turn two. 1 away, bottom of the first inning, no score. Nate Lorenz up to bat. There's a check on first, and Gonzalez, or check that Morales back in safely. Oh, check that. I'm sorry. It's Joseph Fortin that is batting right now. Joseph Fortin batting third.
He was runner-up in the skills competition for the home run derby yesterday.
Quickly 0-2.
That was the information I was just told. If it's incorrect, don't blame me.
Certainly, Fortin has the pop. Another check to first. You know, it's interesting. We were talking about the stature of Arizmendi from Southern Brazoria County, Texas, but he's playing first base.
He is playing first base. It's a little bit different than what you typically see. You usually want a lankier, taller guy that can reach out and grab those balls. It's coming over, but
foul tipped, and that catches the left arm of catcher from Southern Brazoria County, Texas, Colby Chandler. shaken up a little bit. Looks like he's going to work it out, though.
Yeah, just a little stinger.
Coach comes and checks on him.
Yesterday in the home run derby, Kevin, one of the coaches for West End, Pennsylvania, got hit in one of the arms, a line drive right back up the middle. Of course, he had a cage behind him. It popped his arm pretty good. A couple of the medical technicians on staff said they thought it was broke, but he refused medical treatment. And I saw him this morning. He still hadn't went to the doctor. So
wow,
these guys in this tournament, they have one thing on their mind, and that's winning the championship. They don't worry about injury too much unless they totally can't function.
Check back at first, safe.
Mr. Fortin at the plate. He is a David Ortiz and Boston Red Sox fan.
Likes Big Papi.
Does. So it's all from coast to coast, from California to all the way out to Boston.
There's a breaking pitch. Stays on the outside part of the plate. He can hit from both sides of the plate. Facing the righty, though, he's going to stand up there left-handed, is Joseph Fortin.
That's unusual to see, kids, this young already working on that switch hit. And a lot of guys, learn that art later in their development. But that's good that he's this young, at least 15 years old, and already putting that to use. And I believe he was batting left-handed yesterday in the home run derby as well.
No score early on. Bottom of the first inning. A breaking ball that does not break, stays on the outside part of the plate. 2-2. Cervantes throwing several breaking balls, trying to keep the hitters off balance. One away in the bottom of the first. Here's the 2-2. That's a little high. Check swing. Does he go? They're going to say he held up. Full count.
Well, they appealed to the middle umpire, and he says safe, no swing. Didn't look like he did from here either, from our vantage point. It's a beautiful day out. Not too hot, low humidity.
Fortin calls for time.
That was something else. A lot of these teams, these two teams should be accustomed to the sun and the heat, but a lot of the teams from up north, they weren't. They were talking about that earlier today and making sure they stayed hydrated. Another throw over the first. He's back again. They're content on holding him there. They must know something that we don't. He must have some wheels.
He must.
These teams, I don't know where they would get their scouting reports, but you guarantee you they've got them. They know what these kids are capable of.
And that is going to be a walk now to Fortin. Cam, you mentioned it's a beautiful day. Martin Methodist brings us the weather. Weather forecast brought to you by Martin Methodist College, paving the path to success for thousands of graduates since 1870. Lots of sunshine today, and we're about as warm as we're going to be. It's only supposed to get about to 87 today. It is breezy, though. That might have a little impact on how the ball flies, but, hey, it's going to be great. Currently 85 and clear. That's a ball on the inside corner to big number 5 from Westchester. That is Ryan Gervais. Gervais is a big kid. No score, bottom of the first, 1 out. There's a breaking ball, a little low.
A lot of people from the Lawrence County crowd, the host team, that are gathered around us here watching this first game of the day. They play later on tonight. Of course, we've got another game on this field coming up after the open ceremonies.
Ball on the outside part of the plate. Cervantes throwing a lot of breaking balls.
He is. He's not really got his groove on him yet.
Even at 2-2. Foul tip back to the screen.
A little two-seam fastball, possibly a slider. Without a radar gun, it's kind of hard to tell some of these pitches. It's kind of hard because you don't know what a lot of these kids are capable of throwing. And we tried to commandeer us a radar gun from the local police department, but they told me that wouldn't really work for where we're at.
We don't consider that official use.
No. So anyway, so we don't have any speeds or anything, and that's the only thing we're missing, I believe, on this broadcast is a radar gun.
Isn't there an app for that?
There is, and I read a lot of reviews, and I'm not. Oh.
Looks like a changeup that kind of hung up there, but foul tip nonetheless.
Yeah, come in on him, and it looked like he was trying to check his swing or get out of the way, and it caught right above the hands. And if you notice, he's not wearing any batting gloves. That's
old school.
Old school. I couldn't do it. And it's like swinging a golf club. I can't. I got to have gloves.
Yeah, there's only a handful of Major League players that do that. Matt Carpenter comes to mind from the St. Louis Cardinals. And there is a shot to right field, and it's going to drop in there for a hit. Westchester coming home. Nope, they're going to hold up at third. Bases are loaded. 1 out. Westchester threatening.
That was a good arm from out there in right field. It flew his cutoff man right into home plate and held the runner at third. But, man, what a hit. That was the perfect hitting situation. He went the opposite field. That's exactly what you wanted in that situation.
So we got Morales at third, Fortin at second, and Gervais on first. We've got 1 out in the bottom of the first. And that is a ball to the number 6 batter, Kenny Guillen. Number 3 for Westchester. He's the 5th batter in the lineup. Batting from the right side of the plate. Ooh, nearly gets him. Turns his back. You know, you learn that technique when a ball's coming at you to just turn in with it and get your back to it so it catches you on the backside. Proper technique right there.
That's exactly right. I believe I would hit the dirt.
And there's one in there for a strike. 2-1.
Caught the corner there of the plate. That was another breaking ball. Cervantes list. Luke Bryan is his favorite country artist on his profile.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
That ball's lifted into right field, and it will be caught. And the runner tags. Throw is heading towards home, but not in time. Westchester goes up 1-0.
Again, you saw him going right field, opposite field. That's where you want to go to get that runner from third in on the sacrifice. That was actually a pretty shallow pop fly, and good wheels from the right fielder to get to it. But again, it was to right field. That the distance wasn't in their favor, and it was able to score that runner.
2 down, bottom of the first. California on the board over southern Brazoria County, Texas. 1-0. Still with runners at first and third. Fortin is on third, and at first base is Gervais. He remained at first. And there's a check on him at first. And the ball gets away from the first baseman. There's the throw at home, and the play at home, and he is out.
Wow.
Well executed. Fortin out at home, and that will be out number 3. 1 run scored for Westchester County, and they lead 1-0 over southern Brazoria County, Texas. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story & Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story & Lee.
We know when we come into Story & Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You got to come see Story & Lee.
Story & Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself,
Score is 1-0 from the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Westchester, California leading over Southern Brazoria County, Texas. Blake Perry coming to the plate for Texas team, representing the Southwest region. Or William Perry. He's not the refrigerator, though.
He's probably a 180 of the refrigerator.
I'm guessing he's probably William Blake Perry because on the official lineup turned in, he's listed as Blake, but on the roster it's William. So William, the refrigerator Blake Perry, lifts one into center field. And high sky today, but that is going to be handled by the center fielder for Westchester. One down in the top of the first.
That was what a lot of teams were commenting on, was the sun, and they were really trying to pay extra attention to fielding fly balls and getting used to the sun. And I noticed a lot of the kids in practice today, and then maybe some of the warm-ups didn't wear sunglasses, and I was kind of surprised by that, just a little bit. Of course, the sun it's in an angle in the outfield on this particular field. It's going to present a problem.
And this is Horacio Garcia Jr. at the plate from the left side of the plate. Goodman deals. The ball is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Another delivery low. And out to go have a chat with his pitcher is the catcher, Kennedy Guillen. Don't want to get in too much trouble early in the game here. They have a 1-0 lead, and they're going to try to hold on to that. The 3-0. Catches the outside part of the plate.
It's like a little two-seam fastball coming in, painting the corners.
And he'll take a walk. Garcia reaches on a base on balls.
I suspect, this is just me being just hypothesis, I suspect he could be running.
He looks fleet of foot.
He does. He does have that. He has that look. So he possibly could be seeing some pitches coming over to first base here really quickly.
Sam Ryback now batting for Southern Brazoria County, Texas. The number 7 batter in the lineup.
He is a St. Louis Cardinals fan, and his favorite hobby or sport other than baseball is ping pong.
Oh, I like him a lot.
Ryback. Yeah, I'm not a very good ping pong player.
We should play then.
Yeah, we should.
Because I'm okay.
Are you?
And I need a confidence boost.
I have lost a lot of money over the years in ping pong. And
gambling is illegal at Bushwood. That ball's foul tipped over the left side. Going to be out of play.
He is also his favorite baseball player is Matt Carpenter, who I believe, from my research, is a former Babe Ruth graduate. That's what they call the former players as graduates, and I believe he was a Babe Ruth graduate.
But I have to pose the question, if his favorite player is Carpenter, why is he wearing the batting gloves?
Because he's smart? Yeah, because he's seen him on blisters?
Exactly.
I mean, that's my guess.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Breaking ball in there, but it's going to be lifted into center field. It will drop for a hit. An attempted play at second, but it's going to go past.
He should have been going there. Yeah, he was a little timid there. I didn't see his third base coach if he was holding him up, but the third baseman was out of position. I think that would have been a free base. And you see the bat boy from Lawrence County here on our screen is Miles Moore, who his dad is part of the X-Sports crew. So Miles is a bat boy for the Texas team here today.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I said they've kind of taken him in as one of their own, gave him a jersey and everything.
That is fantastic. Colby Chandler comes to the plate. 2 on, 1 out. Top of the second inning. Ball is fouled out of play, and the netting will catch it so it doesn't fall on top of the head of the fans.
Because that one was destined for somebody's crown right there, or inside a drink. There's no question.
Well, there were some smart folks that put up that netting, though,
That's
huh?
exactly right. They knew what to expect right there.
Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, swinging strike.
There's not a net on the opposite side, so if a lefty gets up there and does the same thing, it will find somebody's noggin. But the balls here they're using, Kevin, are printed with the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series logo on them, especially designed for this tournament. You can buy them at the souvenir tent, where they're selling for $10 a piece. I told one of the officials earlier I was going to grab one, and he just kind of looked at me like, you better not.
Chandler down on strikes. That's 2 outs. Top of the first inning. Coming to the dish now is number 2, Sincere Jackson.
Mr. Jackson lists his favorite professional athlete as Mike Trout, but he's a Rangers fan. So,
go figure.
Go figure. Mike, their competition too. Their Stouts competition. Of course, former Ranger or current Ranger player, former Angels player, Josh Hamilton was a former Babe Ruth player. Of course, Josh Hamilton's made a lot of headlines, MVP of the American League here a few years back.
And for other various reasons.
For other various reasons. This year making a comeback. It seemed so far so good. He's doing having a good year.
1-1 count now on Sincere Jackson.
And he was up the road just here in Nashville a few weeks back making a rehab start after he got traded over to the Rangers.
That's in there for a strike.
Of course, southern Brazario County is just south of Houston, so you're going to have a lot of Rangers and Astros fans on this team.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mason Goodman working that breaking ball. Chopper to second base, has to take his time. And Sincere will slide into first and reaches safely. And coming in to score now for Southern Brazario County, Texas, is number 25, Horatio Garcia Jr., and has tied this thing up at 1-1. And going into third base now is number 10. And now Texas has runners at first and third. Ryback reaches third. Now that's some smart base running right there.
It was very smart base running. First baseman had trouble picking up the ball, couldn't really find where it was. He had a Pete Rose slide there going into first to be safe, and he couldn't find the ball quite in front of the bag, and it allowed the runner to advance over to third and the other. So you got runners at the corner with 2 outs.
And they will call that an infield base hit for Jackson. Yeah, that was a tough play. It was a high chopper, and he didn't have a lot of time to wing it over to first base.
And Jackson was on his horse coming out of the batter's box really quickly.
And we're back at the top of the lineup. There's Mendy. And we have a fake throw to first and then a throw down to third, but Ryback is back in safely.
Really smart job there by Westchester's catcher. You got the guy trying for for second. He was going to steal second, but if he throws it to second, the runner on third comes home. So he played it off very well, held both runners.
Here's the 1-0. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Runner steals second. Jackson successful stealing second base. Runner second and third, 2 down.
That was inevitable. That was going to happen. I don't think there's much you can do in that situation. You throw the second, he's coming home.
2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. In the top of the second inning. And that one is low, 3-0.
A huge lead over at second base for Jackson. He is halfway almost between second and third, just daring him to try to pick him off. See if he gets his big lead this time.
You know, the rule of thumb is you can take as much distance from third base as the third baseman is from the base.
Look at this.
That ball's going to be outside. And that is a 4-pitch walk to Arizmendi. The bases are loaded for Southern Brazoria County, Texas.
Goodman struggling just a little bit. He's getting a little frustrated, taking the glove off his hand. Now they're going to come out and take a visit to the mound.
Goodman was dealing those breaking balls earlier for strikes, and now he's struggling just a little bit, but the infield's going to come out and talk to him and try to settle him down just a little bit as we've got bases loaded. 2 outs, though, in the top of the first inning, and the score is knotted up at 1 each.
Yeah, it looked like, the California team had the upper hand going into the bottom half of this inning. After they got on the board, they looked to be kind of cruising. The way he dealt the first part of the lineup and the bottom of the first, he's come out here, struggled a little bit, but he seems to be smiling. His teammates have his back, giving him some words of encouragement. Just get this last out. 1 run's, that's not as bad as what he's staring down. So if he can get out here with 1 run, I'm pretty sure they're going to be really happy.
Crew chief interrupts the meeting. Keep this game moving. Spoke with him before the game. Seems like a really nice guy. And our umpire crew, we'll get into them a little bit later, but they're from all over the country. The Babe Ruth folks have brought in some of the best umpires from across the country for this World Series. Swing and a miss, 0-1 to Reinhardt.
Nasty little slider.
Tyler Reinhardt struck out his first time up to bat. Ball on the outside part of the plate. 1-1. Tyler with a chance to atone for his first inning strikeout. Oh, there's a good pitch, but he swings through it.
Tyler lists his favorite hobby other than baseball as ultimate frisbee.
Hey,
how about that?
That's a lot of fun.
It is. There's not a lot of people in these parts that do a lot of ultimate frisbee, but it's definitely a growing sport.
It's a Texas thing. That ball is lifted into right center field. Blocking the sun is center fielder, and he makes the catch. That is out number 3. 1 run scored in the top of the second for Southern Brazoria County, Texas, and they even this thing up at 1 run each. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit clawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
'15 Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Situated in southern middle Tennessee, about 80 miles south of Nashville. Population 15,000. We are knotted up at 1 run each as Westchester, California comes back to bat, and Hunter Lynch fouls off his first pitch.
That went off into the midway area where a lot of vendors are set up. Hopefully everybody got out of the way. This morning during batting practice, they were fouling them off, and there was a lot of people mingling, and had a couple guys almost catch one out of the noggin. It was like you're throwing hand grenades at them.
You got to keep that head on a swivel at the ballpark.
That's right.
Quickly 0-2 to Hunter Lynch.
One negative of the California team's jerseys, even though they're more traditional jersey, I'm sure they're a little bit more hot than than some of the Under Armour jerseys, that the breathables type pullovers that some of the teams, such as Texas, have on. And the Lawrence County team was just up here walking around mingling. Of course, they played later on tonight. And they have the Tennessee Volunteer colors. They have the Power T on their hats. They're really old-school-looking uniforms.
That breaking ball comes in a little bit high, 2-2.
Kind of look like the old Houston Astros. You remember the multicolor orange?
Yeah.
That's kind of what they look like. They're pretty unique.
It's a good
looking.
look.
It is. I like the old-school stuff. I wish more guys would go back to it. Of course, as far as California jersey, it doesn't get more old-school than what they have.
Swing and a miss. And Lynch will be tagged out, but to ensure everything, Chandler throws it on down to first. Going down swinging is Hunter Lynch. 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Score is 1 apiece, and now coming to bat is Mason Goodman.
He is a big kid. Of course, he is the pitcher for this California squad.
We're going to have to find out why he goes by the nickname of Ledge.
Is that his nickname?
It
is.
We'll have to figure that out.
We do need to know that.
And Ledge, as he's affectionately known, swings through number 1.
Did you have any nicknames in sports growing up?
They called me Killer.
Killer?
Because my last name, Kilpatrick.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It wasn't because you had a killer instinct?
Yeah, killer instinct. A little something to do with ladies.
There we go.
Yeah. But you could talk to a lot of people, they'd be like, that's a good one.
That's right.
We are knotted up at 1 each here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, the 2015 World Series. He tries to check his swing. They check down at first, and he did, in fact, swing through that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ledge.
That's an interesting nickname. There's no question.
Mason Goodman fouls that one out of play.
That may make it on the other field over here. And, Kevin, these fields are in great shape. I was out here in the prep, some of it trying to get my bearings of where we would be stationed for the tournament, and they had a fire truck out here watering the grass. They said that was one of the most efficient ways they've had of watering the grass. Of course, they've got sprinkler systems, but the fire trucks were out here spraying them every night, using the resources.
Derek Cervantes throws that breaking ball a little bit high, but it is, in fact, fouled off by Mason Goodman. Ledge. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. That ball is ripped deep into left field. It's going to be playable, though, and it is, in fact, fielded by Sincere Jackson. 2 away.
I've not heard the name Sincere before. I don't think that's a new one to me, and I really like it. It's definitely unique, but I would like to know an understanding of what his parents, where they come up with that. I bet it's got an interesting story behind that. Sincere. That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm all about unusual names, as you can tell with my name.
Yeah, Cam.
It's not Cameron. It's just Cam.
Yeah.
Cam.
That's when we first met several years ago. That's one of the first things that I had to ask you. Is it short for Cameron, or it's like, no, Cam.
Just the camshaft, man. My dad worked on cars. It's either that or manifold, and I'd much rather have Cam.
Exactly. Nate Lorenz up to bat, and Nate goes by Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg. He throws a lot of breaking balls.
He sure does. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. And that ball catches the outside part of the plate.
Nate's favorite athlete. This is a shocker, Kevin. Usain Bolt.
Oh,
how about that?
He likes the speed.
He likes the speed. Olympic track and field champion. Usain Bolt, favorite baseball team. No surprise here, the Dodgers. Other sport he likes is basketball.
Nate Dogg Lorenz reaches on a base on balls.
Next batter is the second baseman, number 19, Garrett Spacuzza.
Second baseman Spacuzza comes to the plate with 1 on. Our score is 1 apiece in the bottom of the second inning. This is the opening game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series, and we couldn't have a more picturesque day.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wind blowing out to left field, or right field, excuse me, just like it was yesterday for the home run derby. These lefties, if it's got some pop, it's going to really help them.
That ball's right down the middle, taken for a strike.
Another interesting tidbit on Garrett. Favorite musical artist is Fergie.
Fergie Ferg?
Fergie Ferg. How about that? Have you heard her do the Sweet Child of Mine with Slash? Have you heard that version?
I have. It's
awesome.
really good,
It
actually.
is. She's a rocker, man.
And we have a runner going, and Nate Lorenz is going to be thrown out at second base. And that is how we're going to end the second inning. No runs and a walk, and that's it. One thrown out at second base. Our score is 1 apiece as we end the second inning. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
And Cervantes up to bat. As our score is 1 apiece in the top of the third inning. There's a slow grounder to the third base. On to first, 1 away.
Tell you what, some of these kids have got some really big wheels coming out of that batter's box. And if you're an infielder on those slow choppers like that, you've really got to come out of the hole firing in order to get the runner, because there is some fast kids up here. Of course, yesterday they had the Golden Shoes competition, who could make a lap around the bases. I think there was 3 guys from each team. It's kind of like a relay race. It was around the bags, and it was really, really cool. I believe the team from New England won that.
It's Nate Trevino up to bat.
Of course, I don't think we're going to see the New England team on this field, but we will see them in later rounds.
There's a chopper to second base. Handled and on to first for out number 2 quickly.
Goodman's cruising now. A little bit, he's a little bit rocky there in the bottom of the second, but the top of the second. But he's come out here in the top of the third, and he's quickly got 2 outs.
Shortstop Blake Perry up to bat for Southern Brazoria County, Texas. 1-1 is our score. And there's a shot down the right field line, but it is out of play.
Mr. Perry's favorite baseball player is none other than Derek Jeter. And he is a Rice University fan. You don't see that too often.
Well, being down there in Texas where he is, makes, of course, you got a ton of teams to pick from, but Rice always has a good baseball program.
Oh, absolutely. Very, very good school down in Texas. You're right. If you lived in Texas, there's just a plethora of college and professional teams to choose from. Just take your pick. Going through these lists, I've seen the A&M, I've seen Rice, I've seen LSU, Longhorns. I've seen it all out of Texas.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Just outside. Goodman, he's keeping all these hitters off balance, not throwing very many fastballs, throwing a lot of cutters, a lot of breaking balls. There was a fastball, but it's low and away. Full count.
He tries to go down and away quite a bit, especially from a right-handed hitter.
Payoff pitch, lifted into right field. Calling for it is the right fielder, battling the sun, but he makes the play.
I think it was more the wind than anything pushing that ball. He was initially camped out under it and had to back away. That wind, I'm telling you, it's whipping out there.
No runs. As we get ready for the bottom of the third inning, we are knotted up at 1 each. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story & Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story & Lee.
We know when we come into Story & Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story & Lee.
Story & Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team.
Garrett Spicuzza takes the first ball. Pitch for a ball, that is. As we enter the bottom of the third inning, 1-1 is our score in the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series.
Whoa.
That ball clears his head. Spicuzza with good reflexes to get underneath that one.
Yeah, and Spicuzza's he's one of the taller kids for the 15-year-olds that we've seen out here, and he was everything he could do to duck out of the way of that one. That was coming right for the head.
And a little looper hit over to first base, caught. And as they try to throw the ball around the horn, an errant throw over the shortstop's head.
And the catcher just sitting there shaking his head. He's just shaking
Chandler
his head.
just said, I can't take you guys anywhere.
Oh, my goodness. Can't have anything nice.
One away in the bottom of the first inning. Our score is 1 apiece.
What a great pitch, though. That was right in on the hands. He's got that breaking ball really dialed in right now. He's got it grooving right where he wants it. He's able to swap up location on it, and he's throwing a lot of strikes.
Center fielder Gonzalez at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a ball and takes the second one for a ball as well. 2-0, one away.
Just as I say that, he throws 2 balls.
Isn't that the way it goes,
That's
though?
the way it works, man.
Goodman deals. Or check that, not Goodman. Cervantes.
Yeah. Gonzalez is another Los Angeles Dodgers fan. Hanny Ramirez.
With a last name like Gonzalez, what do you think his nickname is?
Gonzo.
Perfect.
Ah, got it.
You win.
I love it. I wish I had a nickname that was as cool as that.
You don't need a cool nickname. You've got a cool name. Cam.
I guess so.
It's like tough. It's manly. It's like greasy.
I guess so. It's like my son. His name's Lincoln. I call him Linkadink, Stinking Lincoln.
I like the Lincolnator. Maybe
the Lincolnator?
Yeah, come up with that a little bit later on. That's just from me.
Yeah.
You do what you like.
Lincolnator.
Gonzalez reaches on balls.
My niece calls him Linky. So I don't know how that'll stick. I don't know if he'll like that. So we should have thought about that. We should have thought about something he could have a cool nickname. The Masher with last name Masher. That'd be a good one.
That is good.
That is good. Why didn't somebody else think of that for me? You know.
Morales up to bat. 1 on. We're knotted up at 1 each in the bottom of the third inning.
Got a cheering section.
Ball is blocked successfully by Chandler. Chandler showing good technique on that block.
Yeah, he really is.
Squared up like Yadier Molina on that.
Yeah, of course, last night at the banquet, the greatest catcher of all time, former Cincinnati Red Hall of Famer Johnny Bench.
You got to love this guy as a Reds fan.
Well, I do. And, of course, he didn't grow up I didn't grow up necessarily in Johnny's time, but as a Reds fan, you hear that name, it's synonymous with Reds history.
There's a wild pitch. Gonzalez will advance to second base.
And, of course, he's got a statue as you walk right into Great American Ballpark. He was named this year at the All-Star game as one of the top 4 living legend baseball players that's currently living. And he knocked it out of the park, Kevin. It was a great speech. It was the kids seemed to really like it. But one of the things he did was he wanted a picture with all the catchers.
Awesome.
Before the banquet, and that's been floating around on Twitter and things. And I think the X Sports Radio has retweeted it, and at the Babe Ruth World Series Twitter handle, which it's so long I don't even remember it at this point.
Yeah.
The Babe Ruth World Series Twitter.
You
handle.
bring that up here at the Mac Brown photographer tent. They're going to have some of those pictures from Johnny Bench.
Awesome.
That you can buy as souvenirs.
Awesome.
From the banquet. They wanted me to mention that.
Yeah, and of course our PSEC. If you're tuning in. And maybe you're not making it down to the game and you're watching us online, or if you're watching us on TV or on the radio, whatever it may be, we're selling DVDs here. I think it's $25 a game, or is it $30? It's $30 a game, or $150 for the whole tournament.
Yeah, for your team. If you want to get your whole team's the entire tournament for your team, it's $150, and it's a great value. Great souvenir. It's memories that'll last a lifetime.
That's absolutely right. A lot of cool content on there. So if you're watching out there or listening in and you're not able to make it to the games, or you're coming down a little later and you want to see these games, we can sell you those DVDs. Get on at X Sports Radio and tweet us, whatever you got to do. We'll figure out a way of getting you a DVD. So one way or the other, or contact somebody back here and they can purchase it on site.
Here's a 3-0 pitch, and that's going to be another base on balls. 4-pitch walk to Morales.
I jinxed him. I said he was really grooving it. Now he's struggling just a little bit, but we'll take another visit to the mound. Both bullpens are quiet, so I don't know that we'll get a pitching change necessarily. Although they are bringing – it's like they're going to swap out the first baseman's glove, possibly.
Wonder if we've got a pitching change. It looks like we do have a pitching change.
We do. First baseman's going to come over and pitch.
So let's take this break here. We are in the middle of the bottom of this third inning. This is 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown, where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
We are back at the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Bottom of the third inning, we have a pitching change. Arizmendi in relief of Cervantes. 2 runners on, first and second. And Arizmendi with his first ball a little high, 1-0. And that is Fortin batting now for Westchester, California. Fortin reached in the first inning. There's a strike, evens things up.
That was a very nice breaking ball from the lefty, Arizmendi. Texas A&M fan, and he's a golfer. Lefty.
The runner goes to third. There's a throw down to third, and he is going to be safe underneath the tag. It looked like the throw was on time, but maybe the tag's a little bit high.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it was a double steal, so we have runners on second and third.
That was very aggressive base running from California, very timely, especially with a new pitcher on the mound. It's a good time to strike.
Westchester being aggressive. So we got Gonzalez on third, Morales on second. And there's the ball lifted to shortstop, and he will make the play. That is going to be 2 away.
And boy, if they can get out of this jam, it look like a great pitching change, and very good piece of coaching if it works out for them. And hopefully, I would hate to be a coach and make those decisions. I don't believe I would deal well under that pressure.
Gervais reached on a single in his first at bat. It's going to be high.
California's got a really large cheering section over here to our right.
That ball nearly gets him. Gervais, the big kid, able to get underneath that, though. 2 balls, no strikes.
That's a couple balls that Texas has sailed in on some of the California hitters. They've been just lucky to get out of the way.
Ryan Gervais goes by the nickname of Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. That might be the best one we've heard.
I know.
Cool Whip.
I like it.
I want to know who's giving out these nicknames.
The 3-0 to Gervais. Does he have the green light? No, he doesn't, and he will take the walk.
It's not necessarily the worst thing that could have happened in that situation with 2 outs for Texas, but obviously you want the out, but it didn't. If they can get it here, it still doesn't hurt them. And that wind, Kevin, is whipping back and forth. It was blowing in a second ago. Now it's blowing back out to right field. It's just all over the place.
Bases Chuck for Guillen.
Nice job by the catcher there to get down and block that one. Texas pitchers seem to be having trouble a little bit finding the strike zone early on in this one.
Good contingent from the Texas fans as well.
Absolutely.
That one's high.
Of course, a lot of these players host families, and we'll talk more about the host families as we go, but a lot of the host families are here cheering on their prospective kids that they're taking in for the week. I see a lot of the local folks wearing the colors of California and Texas.
That ball's taken for a strike. Yeah, take some strikes, make sure you can find the strike zone.
That's right.
2-1.
And we've both played adult softball. That's just totally different in our adult ages, but that's something we do as well. If your pitcher's having trouble finding a strike zone, bat's not coming off the shoulders most of the time.
3-1.
It's a big pitch.
That's in there for a strike. Full count, 2 outs, bases chucked, runners likely going.
He's doing the heater. I'd go back with that fastball.
Payoff pitch in there for strike 3. Arizmendi deals. Keeps things even up at 1 each as we conclude the 3rd inning.
It's huge.
1 apiece. Southern Brazoria County, Texas, and Westchester, California. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story and Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story and Lee.
We know when we come into Story and Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story and Lee.
Story and Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
We are back at the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. This game update brought to you by ExpressMed. We are knotted up at 1 each, 2 hits each, and 1 error, and that error falls upon the California team as we get set for the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, and so far, the California team has seemed the more steady of the two teams. The Texas team has had to kind of fight and swap pitchers back and forth. You know, they've had – California's left a lot of runners on. And to me, they seem like the better team at this point, but you can't ever mark off an underdog as somebody that's scrapping like Texas is. They're hanging on. And
Horatio Garcia Jr. has strike number 2 called on him. As he leads off the top of the 4th inning.
Baseball is a funny sport.
It is.
I mean, it can go either way. It's not always the best team.
It's one of those sports that you could say anything can happen and anything can.
Right. That's exactly right. No lead is ever safe.
There's no time limit.
It's all about timely hitting, timely base running, timely plays. I mean, everything's about timing in baseball. Everything.
There's a line shot to short and on to first for the out.
He almost beat that out.
Horatio Garcia Jr. showing some quick feet heading down to first, but beat him by a step. You can tell these defenses are both pretty tight for both these teams.
He kind of runs like the old famous movie, Major Leagues, Willie Mays Hayes. You remember that? Mm-hmm. So where are you going? About 90 feet.
Exactly. That is a slow chopper. Fielded by the first baseman, and what a nifty play by the big pitcher, Mason Goodman.
That's a highlight reel.
That is.
That's a play if he's going to send a recruitment video later in life when he gets ready to be recruited. That's one he's going to want to put on that.
There's a slow chopper hit to the right of the pitcher, and he was still in his follow-through. He leapt off the mound like a cat, grabs it with his hand, and wheels it to first base to Gervais for the out. 2 away quickly in the top of the 4th inning. That ball is fielded by Gervais at first base, and he will step on first for the 3rd out of the inning.
That was quick.
No hits, no errors. Our score remains 1 apiece. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers. Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
We're back at Tom Cruise Field in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee for the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series as we head into the bottom of the fourth inning. No score, Hunter Lynch coming to bat, and we didn't really get to cover the field dimensions earlier. These field conditions and dimensions brought to you by USAVE Car and Truck Rental. Next time you need to rent a vehicle, call USAVE where you save money. We got 322 down the right field line, 327 down the left field line, 370 to dead center, and that is going to be a shot.
It's a shot.
If you can get it over the wall in center field, and we did talk about this earlier. The field is in excellent condition here at Tom Cruise Field in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, as Lynch goes to 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Yeah, and you mentioned there's a strike. You mentioned Tom Cruise Field. This is actually the high school field for Lawrence County High School. This is their home field. As the scoreboard out here has the Wildcats on it. And the other field over here that's going to be the championship field is actually the quote-unquote Babe Ruth field. But they're both being used for this tournament. They're both great fields, great shape, but the Babe Ruth field is the newer field. But you wouldn't know that by just looking at them. They're both in fantastic condition.
Count even up at 2 each. That ball is high and outside. Will be full up for Hunter Lynch.
Texas has had a lot of full counts.
Payoff pitch. That ball is right down the middle, lifted into left field. And it will be handled for out number one in the bottom of the first inning.
You know what I mentioned, that Texas was a team that kind of scrapped together. You know, it seemed like they're kind of like the fighter kind of team, like piecing it together, and that goes all the way back to the Super Regional when they got in the losers bracket and fought their way back. They lost to Eagle Pass, Texas 10-8, and then they got in the losers bracket. And come all the way through. Had to play 3 games in the losers bracket before getting to the including the championship game. So they didn't make it easy on themselves, but they played a lot of baseball. They're
a team that fights.
They are a team that fights, and that just by their track record, they're going to continue doing this the whole game, and they're right in the thick of it.
Mason Goodman, the pitcher, now up to bat for Westchester, showing his athleticism. In the previous inning on defense, coming off that mound, cat-like quickness to make the play over to first base. Count is at 3-1 now. Goodman flied out to left field his first time at bat. That ball is inside and low, and he will take a walk. That's something we have seen, is a lot of base on balls in this game.
It is, and like I said, the Texas has went through a couple pitchers already, having a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone, throwing a lot of pitches inside. It could be something as simple as just a little bit of nervousness. This is a big game, first game of the World Series. It could be a lot of different factors. It looks like we got a change coming in, pinch runner.
That's right. It looks like entering the game for Westchester is Fabian Galvin. He's going to take Mason Goodman's place.
Some notable residents of Brazario County. Brazoria,
Brazario.
County. Ahmad Hall, former Titans fullback.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bruiser.
Yep. Emmett Thomas, Hall of Fame cornerback for the Kansas City Chiefs, is also from there. He is currently the defensive back coach for the Chiefs as well. So he's coaching Tennessee alum Eric Berry, which, by the way, Eric's coming back from cancer this year. They announced that he would be playing this week in the preseason game. So that's a success
fantastic
story.
news.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're keeping a close eye on Fabian Galvin.
They are. I mean, every time that it's pitched in, they're looking down at him.
I wonder if Mason Goodman would have been shown the same respect.
I doubt it.
Thrown over that many times.
I don't know. After the way he come off the mound, maybe.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. Chances are that's why they put in a pinch runner, I'm assuming.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. We are knotted up at 1 each in the opening game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. That ball right down the middle, line down left side, and it is foul. Just barely foul. That nearly went over the bag.
Yeah, that was really close. That was a really good eye by that home plate umpire, immediately ruling the foul.
That's something interesting we're seeing tonight. That's one of the first shots that we've seen of a ball hit really hard in this game. There's been a lot of flares, a lot of squibbers, and not anybody squaring anything up right yet. But that one, he was squared up on that, just a little bit ahead of it.
Yeah, again, the net. We was up in the press box for the skills challenge, and one of the guys that was doing the PA says, "The glass up here, has it ever been tested?" And I said, "No, but the net has." So, if a ball gets back to the glass behind us, that's something bad has went on, because there is a net right here directly in front of us.
Count even up at 2-2. 1 away. That one's right down the middle, and that is a blooper into left center field. Who's going to get it? Nobody. It's going to fall in between the left fielder and center fielder. And runners will advance to third. And now standing up at second place with a double is Nate Lorenz.
I don't know if that was a case of the sun misjudging it. Maybe somebody didn't call it off, or, that kind of confusion on who actually had that. Because like you said, it was just a blooper. I think it'll go down as a hit. I don't think they're going to give an error.
No, that was diving attempts by both players,
yeah.
So that should fall in there for a base hit. That'd be a shame if they mark that as an error.
Right.
Runners at second and third.
It will be a hit. Check swing hit.
To second base, but a runner will score. Coming in to score on that one is the pinch runner, Fabian Galvin, that went in for Mason Goodman earlier. 2-1 is our score. California takes the lead here in the top of the 5th inning.
I don't know that he meant to fully swing at that one. That was a check swing kind of hit, but and it did its job. That was a sacrifice to the second baseman. Like I said, it did its job, so I don't no harm, no foul, I guess.
They call that a positive out, and there's another little squibber to the second baseman, and he will shuffle it on over to first base for the third out. Well, we had a hit, a walk, and a run here in the top half of the 5th inning, and our score is California 2, Texas 1. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com. or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of
Why
Commerce.
do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story and Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story and Lee.
We know when we come into Story and Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story and Lee.
Story and Lee.
We are live at the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series, and this is the ball we're using right here, Cam.
Yeah, this is it. It's got the Babe Ruth logo, although this one's kind of hard to see. This one's been used today. But to look at the laces, it's the alternating between the red and the blue. Rawlings made these especially for this tournament. That's a really cool deal. And you can buy these at the souvenir tent over here on the Midway for $10. This one's been used. It's got the Babe Ruth stuff, but the laces, that's really cool. That's a one-off deal for this tournament. So if you're coming up here, make sure you buy that. That's a really neat item.
As we start off the top of the fifth inning, Sincere Jackson is at a 1-1 count. 2-1 is our score. California leading over Texas. California took the lead in the bottom of the fourth on a fielder's choice, and there is a ball lined to the first baseman, Gervais, and he handles it. No problem. One away.
That was one of the fewer balls we've seen hit that was really hit well. That was really hit on the head. It was knuckling down, but the first baseman made a nice play at it. But, you've mentioned it. There's not really been a lot of hard hit balls in this game. It's kind of been a lot of small ball.
As we see these players, though, seeing the pitcher for the second and third time, Arizmendi coming up to bat for the third time around. These batters are starting to see the ball a little bit better and are ready for what Mason Goodman's going to be throwing. So, yeah, they're starting to square up the ball a little bit.
Yeah, and, that's maybe where Texas might have a little bit of an edge. They've swapped pitchers from a righty to a lefty. Kind of keep the California hitters on their toes a little bit, but at the same time, as the tournament goes on, that's going to hurt that you've used up a little bit of your pitching depth. So it's a win-win, win-lose, however you want to look at it.
Goodman deals another breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-2 quickly to Arizmendi.
Considering he's the guy that they started the tournament with, I'm assuming Goodman's going to be the ace of the staff.
There's another breaking ball, and it's going to be handled by the first baseman, Gervais. He's keeping busy this top half of the fifth inning. 2 away.
And we was talking, you've been talking about the size of Lawrence County and Lawrenceburg. Lawrenceburg, of course, has 15,000 approximately in the city limits, but as a county, there's close, probably between 45 and 50,000 in the county. A lot of the teams have traveled all over the county, staying in hotels, different places, and practicing, even in Loretto this morning. There was a few teams down there, which is about 15, 20 minutes south of here.
Pop fly just outside of the infield, and it's going to be handled by the shortstop. That's 3 away quickly. No hits, nobody left on, of course. Our score is 2-1, California leading over Texas. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit clawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
It is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Beautiful day for baseball. If you're watching this stream, you've seen some of the Chamber of Commerce ads. It's a Chamber of Commerce kind of day here in Lawrenceburg. 2-1 is our score. Westchester, California leading over Southern Brazoria County, Texas. 2-1 is our score. 3 hits for California, 2 hits for Texas team, and it's a great game so far.
It is, and you know, right now it seems like California has found their groove, especially pitching and defensively. They've had a couple of 3-up, 3-down innings back to back. It does seem like they are sort of dominating, have the upper hand in this game, but it's only a 2-1 game, and Texas is right there. California's left a lot of runners on base.
Arizmendi deals. That ball is high. 2-0 is the count to Morales. Morales, deep shot into center field, going back and making the play is Sincere Jackson for Brazoria County, Texas, 1 away.
Of course, Westchester is representing California out of the Pacific Southwest Regional. They are actually inside the city limits of Los Angeles, California. In fact, if you've ever been to Los Angeles, chances are you've flown into LAX.
Yes.
LAX is located in Westchester, California.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that if you're in LAX, you've been to Westchester, California.
This geography lesson brought to you by Cam Mashburn.
That's right.
At Mashburn's Collision Center. And Fortin is hit by the pitch. He will take his base.
And Texas has thrown in a lot on a lot of batters. And they've yet to hit one, and they finally caught him one. Finally caught him one, but that has to be in the scouting report of the game plan to throw in at these Westchester hitters, because there's been both pitchers for Texas has thrown in almost every. You can tell that's where they're trying to go is inside.
Big Ryan Gervais batting the cleanup hitter for California. 1 away, bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 is our score. Opening game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. We will get you an updated score on the game that's taking place on the Denver Trap Field here in just a little bit. That ball is going to be outside. 1-1.
Gervais is a Notre Dame fan.
Oh, yeah.
Notre Dame. And he has no favorite musical group.
He left that one blank, didn't he?
He just says no. It says none. It says none. Doesn't have one.
Woo! Rips it fouled down the left field line. But as we were talking about a little while ago, some of these batters are starting to square the ball up.
Yeah, they are. And they're seeing a lot of breaking balls, a lot of balls inside. If they can get around on those pitches inside, they're going to be able to make contact.
That one's hit to the shortstop, and he mishandles it. Throws on to first, though, and still recovers in time to get the out at first. 2 away.
Had a chance for a double play and just mishandled it. Although he was able to get the first runner.
He probably got a little ahead of himself trying to handle it. He was trying to throw it before he got the ball in his glove. Yeah, and
you know, we mentioned earlier, you're talking about the geography of Westchester. El Segundo is near there, Westchester. And that's El Segundo, of course, won a couple years ago the World Series. And of course, they didn't even make it out of California this year. They would be pretty much neighbors to one another, Westchester and El Segundo.
There's a wild pitch, and Fortin will go to third. Actually, it hit the batter. It hit the batter, number 3, who will take his base. And Fortin will be forced to go back to second base.
We've got a scoring update from the field next door to us over
from
here
the Denver Trap Field.
Denver Trap Field. 2-0. Bottom of the 4th. Massachusetts is up on Wisconsin. So that was a scoring update from the other game currently in progress. You can watch all of these online at xsportsradio.com.
There's a chopper to shortstop, on to first base for the 3rd and final out.
Very good inning for Texas.
Well, we had a hit by pitch and a couple of runners left on. We have reached the end of the 5th inning. 2-1 is our score, California leading Texas. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers. Lawrenceburg, Pulaski.
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story and Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story and Lee.
We know when we come into Story and Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story and Lee.
Story and Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
We are back, top of the sixth inning, 2015 Babe Ruth World Series between Southern Brazoria County, Texas, the Southwest Regional Champions, and Westchester, California, the Pacific Southwest Regional Champions. California team is leading 2-1 as we get the sixth inning underway. Mason Goodman still dealing for the Westchester team, holding Texas to 1 run thus far.
There's been a lot of walks, batters from the Texas, and there's only been 5 hits in the game, 3 for California, 2 for Texas. So it's not, as far as hits go, there's not been that many, but there's just been a lot of runners on base. A little interesting tidbit about Brazoria County, as of the 2010 census, the county itself, this is South Brazoria County, so this is just one portion of the county. But the county as a whole had 313,000 people inside the county limits. Of course, it's just south of Houston, and it is included in the Houston Woodlands metropolitan area. Brazoria County also has more species of birds than any other county in North America. How about that?
You have done your research.
How about that?
Cervantes reaches on a base on balls, and they will check on him at first base.
More species of birds than any other area, not just in America, North America. How about that?
Trevino is batting now for Texas as count goes to 0-1.
It also has the second highest number of prisons of any county in Texas. How about that?
I wonder if that has anything to do with the large bird population.
It might. It might.
These birds are making me angry.
Yeah.
Angry birds.
Driving people crazy. What if that's where angry birds come from, is Brazoria County? Be interesting to know. I doubt it. But
it's a beautiful place, though. If you take a look at it on the map and take a look at some of the photos online and everything, some of the people have taken some of the nature shots and things of that nature from that area of the country, and it's beautiful there.
Absolutely.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Cervantes.
And they have a little bit of
Trevino, I'm sorry.
They have a little bit in common with this area of Lawrence County, as the county seat, Angleton, hosts the Brazoria County Fair every October, and is considered Texas' largest county fair. And of course, Lawrenceburg, Lawrence County, hosts the Middle Tennessee District Fair every September, and it's considered one of the largest in the state of Tennessee.
And there is a check on Cervantes at first, but to no avail, and Trevino goes down on strikes. Now batting for Texas is number 12. It is Oliver Garcia now in the game.
Getting a sign now that the wind now is pushing in a lot more instead of out. You can probably hear it coming through our mics.
That ball is low. Handled, though, by the catcher for California. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away.
Looking down in the California bullpen, they do have somebody up pitching, as does Texas. So both bullpens have some activity. Now they're going to buy some time here. The catcher comes out. Going to have a little meeting here. This could possibly just be buying a little bit of time. I don't know how quickly they're going to want to swap pitchers. They got 1 out, 1 runner on. I think just in case, just buying maybe a little more time for that arm down the bullpen to get loosened up.
Garcia is in for Perry. Ball is bunted foul. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes now. You can kind of see the flag in the background right there. That wind is really having some impact on this game. Certainly keeping anything lifted into the outfield shallow.
Absolutely. And it's just whipping. It's not really any one direction all the time. It's mainly blowing in now, but from time to time it'll blow out to right field.
Oh, and there's an attempted steal, but he's going to be caught in a rundown. And Cervantes is caught in between first and second. That will be the 2nd out of the inning. Well handled by the California team.
Absolutely. From the top of the 6th inning, and you got to think at this point that Goodman could be getting a little tired. Possibly why we got some activity down here, but he's kind of hanging up some pitches, throwing some of them in the dirt. He's on top of a lot of pitches. So he is throwing a little more. He's got a full count here, and we hadn't seen many full counts from Goodman after the 1st inning, at least anyway.
Garcia with a 3-2 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. He hits that one to shortstop and on to first for the 3rd and final out of the inning.
What a cannon.
No runs scored in the top of the 6th inning. Westchester coming up to bat. Scores 2-1, California leading. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
Pitch number 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning is lifted to second base, and he will make the play. And Mason Goodman is down on 1 pitch as we get the bottom of the 6th inning underway. 2-1 is our score. Westchester, California leading over Southern Brazoria County, Texas, 2-1.
Have you spent much time in California, Kevin?
I've been there a couple of times in the LA area, and the desert, Palm Springs right there. Did a little golf in there.
Really? You kind of seem like a California type guy. Of course, you're from Miami.
Yeah.
Spent some time in Miami anyway.
It's been a decade in Miami. Arkansas is kind of where I call home. Been in Tennessee for about 10 years.
Been all over.
A little bit all over.
So
some would think I'm on the run.
On the run. Are you in a witness protection program?
I'm on the lam, Cam.
So did you get to go for any In-N-Out burger?
No, I don't think I did. We tried to eat at some cool, more unique places when we were out that way. I got to play at the La Quinta Golf Course.
Really?
Yeah, which in Palm Springs. And that one is fouled away as we got one away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We got a scoring update now. It's 5-0. Massachusetts leading Wisconsin right now.
Yeah, I don't have an inning on that one. I'm assuming it's going to be in the bottom of the 5th. Yeah, and of course Texas has got the Whataburgers, and Whataburger has kind of shifted into this area somewhat. They got a few, I think, down in.
There's a base hit into right field. We have only seen a handful of base hits so far today.
Yeah,
that is hit number 3 for the California team.
I think that'll actually be hit number 4 once they update the scoreboard up here. So there's only been 6 total hits.
Yeah, hit number 4 for Westchester, California.
And they, the Whataburger, they've got one in Birmingham. I don't know if you've ever been to Whataburger, but
I have been to Whataburger.
I'm a Whataburger fan, and of course their chicken biscuits are ungodly. And if you're coming to the ballpark up here this week, the Kiwanis Club is cooking some barbecue, and they've got the smokers and stuff. But today at 5 o'clock, Kevin, and I'm leaving your side at 5 o'clock because that's when the prime rib sandwiches are going to be ready.
You have been talking about off microphone that sandwich all day.
Carl Counts is cooking that sandwich, and most of you may be listening back in other parts of the country don't know who Carl Counts is. He's a local barbecue pit master, and he put out on Twitter about a week ago that he was going to do these prime rib sandwiches. And I'm a prime rib guy, man.
That sounds good.
And I told him to reserve me 10 of those, and I would eat every one of them. So I hadn't eaten all day. I ate a bag of chips. That's it. I'm saving myself for this sandwich.
You're like me on special occasions. You save that belly room.
Oh, man.
Spikuza back to the pitcher. The pitcher, Aaron Zmetti, handles it and throws it on to first for the out. That is 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Of course, coming up Saturday night here at the World Series location, they'll have a big fireworks display after the last game. That should get underway around dark, so probably around 8:30.
That'd be nice.
Somewhere in that area. So if you're in the area, be sure to come by and check that out. That's usually reserved for the 4th of July holiday, but they've moved it this year to this special occasion for the World Series. So, and it's a really cool fireworks display. If it's anything like it is at 4th of July, it's going to be really spectacular.
Michael Gonzalez now batting for Westchester, California.
Gonzo
is 0 for 2 with a walk. Center fielder for Westchester, California. Right down the middle. Hit foul. That will be 0-2 for Gonzo.
Westchester is predominantly a residential area of the LA area. When the area had 30,000 residents, it was still lacking a police station, a fire station, or a hospital. It even lacked a barber shop until 1949.
That ball is lifted in right center field. Coming in to score will be Lorenz. 3-1 is our score. California leading. RBI for Gonzo.
Now coming to bat for the Westchester, California, the shortstop, number 7, Adrian Morales.
Get the shortstop, A.J. Morales, coming to the plate. And A.J. has made a couple of really nice plays over at short. He's got a really, really nice arm. He showcased that on the last out of that last inning.
And there's another shot into right field, but it is going to be handled by the right fielder for Southern Brazoria County, Texas. 3 away. Couple of hits and a run for Westchester, California. Our score is 3-1 as we wrap up the 6th inning. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Winchester.
It is 3-1 as we start the top of the 7th inning. California leading over Texas in the first game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. And how did we get here, Cam?
Well, we got the Express Med game update. We've got Express Med. If you're sick, they're quick. With convenient locations in Lawrenceburg, Loretto, and Florence, Alabama. Texas, they've only got 1 run on 2 hits. California leads the game with 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. That is your Express Med game update.
There's a chopper to shortstop on to Gervais for out number 1 of the 7th inning.
There was a guy from Pennsylvania that really needed to go see Express Med yesterday after taking that shot to the arm in the home run derby. I'm telling you, that sucker's broke. I saw it this morning. It's still perfect outline of a baseball, right below the elbow on the forearm. But I think he is a medical major in college, and I think he did a self-diagnosis and said he'd be okay until the tournament was over.
I tell you what, Mason Goodman is looking to complete his first game in the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series as California leads 3-1, and the top of the 7th inning, and 1 away already. And Brazoria County, Texas, down to their final 2 outs. And there is a ball mishandled by the second baseman. He recovers, but not in time.
It's going to be his 2nd error of the night. Afternoon, I should say.
Top of the 7th inning, 3-1 is our score. Dubose coming up to bat for Southern Brazoria County, Texas. 1 on and 1 away. 3-1. Again is our score. Westchester, California leading over Southern Brazoria County, Texas. That ball is lifted out of play.
So, yeah, Goodman's going for the complete game here. And, you know, he's doing so well. It's still a close game, 3-1. But you got to think, if he is the ace of the staff, you might want to save his arm. But he's had a couple of back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings, so he's really not got a lot of pitches. I don't have a pitch count on him, but it's not very many.
There's a base hit into right center field. That may go for 2. Nope. Holding up at first base is Dubose, but on to third is another runner for Southern Brazoria County, Texas.
I think we may have just seen the last pitch for Goodman. I think they got some kid warming up down here in the bullpen. They're buying some time out here right now. He's leaving some pitches up. He may be getting a little tired. I don't know. But this Texas team, again, we've talked about this. And just by their track record, they're a scrappy team. They don't never give up. Have a lot of resolve. They're in the heart of their order at this point. I mean, or at least the heart of the order as far as this is the same part of the order that they got their 1 run on all the way back in the top of the second. So this Texas team really seems to do well as far in coming from behind. They seem to like that angle on it, and they have a really good resolve as a team, it seems like.
And it kind of does look like we're going to have some sort of substitution as the coach is talking over with the umpire.
I think we're getting a pinch runner here for South Brazario County.
And that is indeed the case, and it's going to be number 8, Joshua Luna.
I suspect we'll be seeing a runner run to second base relatively short. And you can hear the Texas crowd chanting SEC.
They are trying to get their players fired up. Sincere Jackson now batting with 1 away. Top of the 7th inning. California leading 3-1 over Texas. And there is a check on Luna.
SBC. I was saying SEC, but it's SBC.
SBC. That makes sense.
Yes, South Brazoria County.
Jackson with a shot into right field. And that ball is going to fall in for a base hit. He's going for 2. 1 run will score. On to third is Luna, who just comes in the game, and he is safe. Runners at second and third. And Sincere Jackson delivers a big double for Texas.
He had a couple of hit fouls off earlier in the game that where you could tell it's hit on the nose. And looks like we're fixing to get a pitching change for California. Now they're waving him off. They're waving him off. He says he's okay. He wants to stay in.
He wants to stay in there. RBI double for Sincere Jackson. Gets them to within 1. And still just 1 away. Runners on second and third for Texas. Certainly making things exciting in this 7th inning. As the crew chief comes out to the mound to break up the meeting to keep the game moving forward. The infield meeting for Westchester, California on the mound to discuss defensive positioning and pitch selection.
It's like they're bringing the corners of the infield way in up on the grass. I don't know if they're suspecting a bunt, possibly a squeeze play. That might be interesting.
Arizmendi at the plate. Breaking ball, a little bit outside.
He's not showing bunt. At least he didn't give the indication then.
3-2 our score, top of the 7th inning.
Goodman working from the stretch.
Texas trailing by 1. Outside again, 2-0. Looks like Arizmendi is going to be up there to take some pitches. As the leadoff batter, you have to suspect that he's got a good eye up there. He takes another ball, 3-0.
A walk here for California is not necessarily the worst case scenario. It does give you a force at any base.
Sets him up for a double play all the way around the infield.
In a lot of occasions, you'll see teams intentionally walk a guy. Now he shows bunt, and then he walks.
Walks on 4 pitches. I just don't know how much longer they're going to leave this Goodman out there for California.
I think he's done.
They're going to lift him right now. So as they swap out pitchers, let's take this break. It's 3-2. California leading over Texas in the top of the 7th inning. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Whether you're an all-star athlete or a weekend warrior, don't let pain keep you out of the game. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers, our orthopedic, spine, and sports medicine experts care for athletes and average folks alike. We're your hometown orthopedics and sports medicine team. Orthopedic excellence has a new name, Southern Tennessee Orthopedic and Spine Centers. Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and
Why do people all over the Tennessee Valley love Story and Lee furniture?
I haven't found anything in the whole Tennessee Valley that's the size of Story and Lee.
We know when we come into Story and Lee, we're going to get good quality furniture. We know we're going to get a great price.
With over 144,000 square feet of furniture to choose from, it's the largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley.
When we go look other places, we always wind up back here for a better buy.
You gotta come see Story and Lee.
Story and Lee Furniture in Leoma, Tennessee.
Whenever we get back.
And we are back. The 2015 Babe Ruth World Series, top of the 7th inning, pitching change. Carlos Flores is now pitching for Westchester, California, leading 3-2.
Yeah, and he's a fan of Clayton Kershaw. Which, of course, Clayton's one of the premier pitchers in baseball, and he's a Dodgers fan. So let's see if he can channel his inner Kershaw here and close this game out. He's got a tough job ahead of him. He's got the bases juiced.
By the way, this call to the bullpen brought to you by Farm Bureau of Tennessee and Lawrence and Giles County. Call Farm Bureau today and get your insurance checkup. So we will have Flores in relief of Goodman, and he starts out pitching to Tyler Reinhardt of Southern Brazoria County, Texas. Bases are loaded in the top of the 7th. His first pitch is in for a strike.
Yeah, he's been warming up the last couple of innings down here in the bullpen. From here, it looked like almost maybe he had a knuckler. I couldn't tell. He had a lot of movement on his pitch just from the distance I had.
And look at that. Reinhardt with a pitch coming in on the inside part of the plate takes the hit for an RBI. We are knotted up at 3.
Wow. And you noticed there, that was a really smart job taking one for the team. He didn't get out of the way. He's like, let it hit me. Let it hit me. Because that ties the game up. So instantly we get a run across to tie this up. And Texas is scrappy. They're a scrappy little team.
They don't give up.
They don't.
They've got 2 runs here in the 7th inning to tie things up. We're knotted up at 3 in the top of the 7th inning. And bases are still loaded as Trevino comes to bat.
And something with Flores that you don't typically see with pitchers, we were talking during the break, he's wearing sunglasses. That's not something that we're accustomed to seeing. Of course, I haven't ever done that myself. Being a former pitcher in youth baseball and Babe Ruth and Little League, I never wore sunglasses. I couldn't do it. Even playing the field, it bothered me way too much. There was no way. I would just deal with the sun.
Trevino has grounded out to second base and struck out. He lifts that one out of play.
And that's going to be straight back into the food concourse area.
You're still thinking about that prime rib,
I
aren't you?
am thinking about that prime rib because, it goes on sale in 5 minutes. This game will be getting over, depending on the extra innings or if we have them. And, man, it's calling my name about 6 of those bad boys. Of course, the opening ceremonies for the tournament will be after the 2 games on either field conclude. Then we'll get the nightcaps underway.
Cervantes now batting. Full count for Cervantes as we are knotted up at 3 each in the top of the 7th inning. Southern Brazoria County, Texas against Westchester, California in the opening game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series.
How does it feel to be a part of the first radio broadcast, television broadcast for a World Series baseball game in Lawrence County?
It's pretty exciting.
It is.
There's the payoff pitch, fouled off by Cervantes.
Of course, last year I was a part of the first broadcast from the new arena over at the Rotary Park when they had the demolition derby during the fair.
Yeah.
I'm not a,
You're breaking champagne bottles everywhere, aren't you?
I am, man, and it's it's not a career path I intended necessarily, but here we are.
That ball is lifted out of play. Count remains 3-2, 1 away in the top of the 7th inning. Southern Brazoria County, Texas with 2 runs in the 7th inning here and have tied this thing up.
And I just now noticed that there is a pitch count number on the board up there. It was kind of hidden up in the upper left corner. Oh.
Well, there it is.
Yeah. It hit the end of the bat. That almost hit him in the hands, and that could have been really dangerous. Usually when a ball comes in on the hands, if it hits the hands, it's going to score a run, but sometimes it's probably going to break some fingers. But that hit the butt end of the bat.
And the payoff pitch again. Flores deals. And that ball is lifted into shallow left field. Shortstop will call for it and make the out.
So no runners advance, not deep enough.
Morales for California making the play. 2 away in the top of the 7th. Our score remains tied at 3 each.
That actually, Kevin, is not a pitch count. That's the batter number. So there is still not a pitch count, marker. I suspect they're supposed to be up in the other corner, but because these are new scoreboards here on both fields. But regardless, we don't have that stat for you, and we apologize.
Pitch number 1 to Trevino, taken for a strike.
And Sincere Jackson's down here at third, daring this hind catcher to throw down. He's got a pretty sizable lead considering he's at third, but there's nobody covering third, so he's kind of toying with him right now.
There's a shot into right center field. That will fall in for a base hit. Jackson scores. Here comes the play at the plate for another run. Texas scores again. And a wild errant throw, and another runner scores.
Wow.
A bases clearing double for Texas.
And right now you've got California just shell-shocked. I mean, they went in this inning up 3-1. And all of a sudden now in the top of the 7th, Texas has added 5 runs, and now we've got possibly an interference call coming. The California coaches arguing that the batter that was on deck for Texas was up in the hind catcher's way. So we may be getting a call here. We'll see.
Coach is talking it over with the umpires, but looks like things will remain the same. 6-3 is our score as Southern Brazoria County, Texas has put 5 up in the top of the 7th inning, and they may not be done.
They may not. It's 2 outs, runner on second, but the hind catcher for California is none too pleased about that call. He was the first one, and the pitcher of both. The pitcher for California both were the first ones saying, hey, look, we got interfered with. But I'm not sure the ruling on that was obviously he did not.
Garcia now batting for Texas. Takes the first ball for a strike. 2 away. That ball is fouled away 0-2 quickly. 6-3 is our score in the top of the 7th, and this California team and crowd are stunned.
They are. I mean, it was a very quick turnaround, and this Texas team has made a habit of coming from behind, coming through losers brackets. When the pressure and the intensity gets tighter and they're down to their last breath of life, essentially, they have made a habit of really coming on strong.
1-2 is the count to Garcia.
That was a very aggressive base running there to get that 6th run across.
Sure was. And there's a shot to center field. That will fall in for a base hit for Garcia. Holding up at third is number 99, Nathan Trevino. First and third, 2 away, top of the 7th. 6-3 is the score. Texas leading over California now.
That pitch was right down the middle, about chest high, perfect pitch for a hitter. I think he missed his spot just a touch on that one. So Flores come into a very dangerous situation here, and thus far has gotten beat up pretty badly. Not necessarily the start he wanted, but at the same time, he inherited a lot of this mess.
You kind of feel, though, that California had to make a pitching change.
They did. I think they
Goodman
did.
seemed to be getting tired,
He
and
did.
his pitch count had to be getting up there.
He did. He pitched a really good game, and maybe left him in just a fuzz too long. But that happens. He pitched such a good game. You hate to pull him early. Such a tough call to make as a manager.
That first pitch to Garcia is on the outside part of the plate, 1-0. And that ball is bunted down the third base line. Perfectly placed, and that will score Trevino. And Texas adds another run. 7-3.
Yeah, a little squeeze play. And I mentioned that earlier, Kevin, that a lot of these teams this morning in practice were practicing that bunt. And that was played to perfection there. Kind of misplayed by the third baseman. I don't think they'll give him an error there. I think he was safe regardless if he'd fielded it clean or not. I don't think he had any shot of throwing him out.
Yeah, like you said, it was perfectly placed. Not much at all he could do about it. Ryback up to bat now. 2 away. Top of the 7th inning, Ryback swings through the first pitch. Texas leading 6-3.
And little Miles Moore, the local kid that's part of the South Brazoria County batter, ball boy and bat boy, he was getting really pumped up over there on that one.
And there's another shot into right center field. They have been wearing that spot out. And we have a play at the plate. Scoring the run is Garcia for Texas. That is the 7th run of the 7th inning for Texas.
Wow. And this has just come out of nowhere. I mean, Texas really just they had a couple of innings where it was 3 up, 3 down, and it just looked like California was getting the best of them. Of course, Goodman was pitching really well, and it seemed like, California or Texas, neither one could really get the barrel of the bat on the ball real squarely. And all of a sudden, this inning is just broke wide open for Texas. California has left a lot of runners on base, mainly due to a lot of walks being issued from Texas. But, again, it's all about timing, and Texas got the timely outs when they needed them, to avert disaster. And now, look, they're leading this game 8-3. That's incredible.
Colby Chandler coming up, and he will be the 12th batter in the top of the 7th inning for Southern Brazoria County, Texas. Wow. And they have been wearing out the pitchers.
And you feel bad for the kids, for California, at this point. But they get the bottom half of the inning to try to do the same thing. So they're not out of it yet.
As we talked about earlier, this is baseball. Anything can happen, and sometimes it does.
Yeah, and there again, you had the runner on first going to second. That's one of those as a hind catcher. You might as well just hang on to it, because if you throw, the runner on third is coming home.
Ryback does steal second. No throw. Second and third. 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. 8-3 is our score. Southern Brazario County, Texas leading after trailing 3-1 going into the 7th inning.
Yeah. And again on that catcher, if he does throw the second, he better be really sure that he can throw him out. Because you see a lot, sometimes a major league guy will make that throw, but they have such good arms in the infield, and the bases are spread out a little more that they can afford to do that. But
that breaking ball's in there for a strike.
It's a really nice breaking ball.
Quickly 0-2 to Chandler. No, check that. It's not Chandler in there right now. That is Josh Luna with a little squibber back to the pitcher, and he will be thrown out at first. Well, after 7 runs in the top of the 7th inning, Southern Brazario County, Texas now leads 8-3 over California. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com. or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins.
Well, Westchester, California has a tall order ahead of them as they trail 8-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning as Southern Brazoria County, Texas plates 7. Yes, 7 in the top of the 7th inning. They had 12 batters come up to bat in the top of the 7th inning, and they have taken a commanding lead. But California has one more attempt at this. First ball is fouled, and the second ball is called for a strike on Joseph Fortin.
On top of the prime rib sandwiches, Kevin, they've got chicken legs that they're barbecuing over here, and both are on sale now.
Well, that's a base hit up the middle. So Fortin starting things off positively for California.
And we've got a scoring update from Denver Trap, the field next door, where we've got Massachusetts and Wisconsin playing. Massachusetts leads that one in the top of the 6th inning, 9-0.
All over them.
All over them.
Ryan Gervais now batting for California. Gervais lines out to the second baseman, and doubled up at first is Fortin. He was running with that hit, and he is caught off the base, 2 away in the bottom of the 7th.
You have to question a little bit the hit and run there, given that was a left-handed hitter. I don't know. Maybe they had him trying to go opposite field, and he just didn't convert. At the same time, as a manager, you have to make decisions based on your players converting, and maybe that was the case there.
2 away, bottom of the 7th inning. 8-3 is our score. Texas leading over California. That ball is fouled down the left field line by Guillen.
Texas is 1 out away from completing a really, really awesome comeback here.
Guillen is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice on the day. Grounded out to shortstop his last time at bat.
Wind is dying down just a fuzz here on Tom Cruise Field.
Right down the middle, and that is through the wickets of the third baseman for Texas, and that will likely go as a base hit. That was sharply hit.
Yeah, it was, and I don't see how you can get someone an error on that one. I mean, he was trying to get down, but I don't. There's very few players that can make that play.
Yeah, Trevino was squared up, and he was playing a little bit in, and it was a hard shot, but it went right between his legs. But not much he could do about that.
Of course, Tom Cruise Field, with this current field we're on, is named is after the man who brought, some say brought baseball to Lawrence County.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the main guys who got a baseball team up together, got a group of kids to play, so they named this field in his honor.
Hunter Lynch now batting for California. With 2 away, California trailing 8-3 to Texas. That ball is low. 2-1. One on. There's a line shot down the left field line, but it is foul.
And I just got another update from the field. Massachusetts has pitched a no-hitter.
Fantastic.
A no-hitter.
Wow.
There's only been 11 in World Series history. And so we have a no-hitter on the other field. I'm assuming it's complete by the text I just got from some of our media friends at the next door, and we're sending somebody right now to check that out. While I dig through my World Series records here, I think that's going to be the 12th one in World Series history.
That brings the count to 3-2 to Hunter Lynch after that foul tip. Guillen on first base. California down to their last strike. Bottom of the 7th inning, 8-3. They trail to Texas after leading the game most of the way until Texas exploded in the top of the 7th. 3-2 count. Payoff pitch. Fouled just beyond the third baseman's reach.
I'll take that back. There's been 17 no-hitters, so that would be the 8th.
It's still
no-hitter through 6.
That's
so the
an
game's
amazing.
not complete just yet. It is complete. It's over.
Run rule.
10-0. A run rule. It is over. So a no-hitter. The 18th no-hitter.
And there is a grounder to third, and this ball game is over, folks. Texas explodes in the top of the 7th inning for 7 runs. And this California team is stunned and shocked after leading most of the ball game. 8-3, our final score. Texas beating California. What a game, folks.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm really impressed with this Texas team. I'm really impressed with a lot of the players from California. They seem like a solid ball club. I'm anxious to see them get back out. This one's going to sting tonight, but they're going to go kind of lick their wounds tonight, but they'll get right back at it tomorrow. Goodman's a really good pitcher. He pitched a really good game. Gotten a little tired there at the end and let some runners on, started walking some guys. But you got to give a lot of credit to this Texas team. They basically was staring defeat in the eyes and took it. I mean, they took this win. That's all you can say about it. They hit the ball in timely fashion and made some timely plays.
Southern Brazoria County, Texas, beating Westchester, California 8-3 in the first game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. And we're going to take a little break and come back and talk about some of the hits and some of the plays from the game in just a moment. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Main Street Lawrenceburg is proud to support the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Downtown is in the midst of an incredible revitalization led by Daryl Valentine and the Main Street Board in an effort to make downtown the heartbeat of the city. Come join us downtown where you'll find many shops and restaurants for folks of all ages, streets full of history, and much more. Visit MainStreetLawrenceburgTN.com. On behalf of Daryl Valentine and myself, April Judkins, Main Street Lawrenceburg Director, we hope to see you downtown.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.
There are many reasons to see Lawrence County, Tennessee. See it for the nature. See it for the culture. See it for the history. See it for the recreation. See it live. Lawrence County, Tennessee. Simple pleasures, natural treasures. For more information on Lawrence County tourism, visit sealawco.com or contact the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce.
Well, we had an exciting first game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series. Southern Brazoria County, Texas beating Westchester, California 8-3. Texas was trailing the entire game going into the top of the 7th inning. They were trailing 3-1, but everything changed when the bases were loaded in the top of the 7th inning and Sincere Jackson hit that shot to right center field, clearing the bases and putting Texas ahead. So that is our play of the game, brought to you by Cocina Real, the home of authentic Mexican taste. And maybe Sincere Jackson will be able to get him some good Mexican food tonight, as he is also our player of the game, right, Cam?
Yeah, and, of course, our player of the game is going to differ maybe from what Babe Ruth as the whole does. But our player of the game is Sincere Jackson, the first volunteer bank player of the game. Is Sincere Jackson because of that game-winning hit. I think that might have been his only hit of the night. I could be wrong on the stats. All right, we had a little discrepancy there between us and the booth up top, but the game-winning hit in the clutch doesn't get any bigger than that. For that, he's our player of the game.
Absolutely, and it was, clutch time for Sincere Jackson, clearing the bases in the top of the 7th inning as Southern Brazoria County, Texas brought up 12 batters in the top of the 7th, and again, we've mentioned before, they stunned the California team, who probably thought they had the game in hand going into the 7th inning because they had good pitching, they had solid defense, but the Texas team, as Cam has talked about all throughout the game, just did not quit, and they put up a 7 spot in the top of the 7th inning. And what a great game. And Cam, what about the game that happened on the other field? Some excitement there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we went and checked it out. It was a run rule game, but nonetheless, 10-0. Massachusetts beat Wisconsin, but that's not really the storyline. It was a no-hitter, the 18th no-hitter in Babe Ruth World Series history. Massachusetts did that. So that's some bit of history being accomplished already very early in this tournament. A no-hitter. That's pretty impressive.
Well, this is the opening day of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series, and coming up this evening at 6 or 6:30 Central Time, it will be the official opening ceremonies. They wanted to wait till everybody got off work, everybody got out of school, so they could attend the official opening ceremonies, and then we will have our nightcap games tonight featuring the 2 home teams, and that'll be Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. They are the host team. Now, a lot of times in these playoffs, the Babe Ruth World Series, some of these hosting teams may not be up to par with the other teams that are in the tournament, but that is certainly not the case with this Lawrenceburg team, Cam.
No, and they have been to the World Series in different age groups the last 2 years. Same team. They were runner-up, lost to El Segundo, California, in Willingston, North Dakota a couple years back. And last year, I think they were maybe put out in pool play, but nonetheless, they made it. And it's a pretty impressive team. They're a really good team. They haven't played as much this year because they didn't have to go through the Southeast Regional and the state and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do. But their first game gets started tonight on Denver Trap, which is the next field. That game will be live on xsports.com and as well as 105.3 The X. Our game, of course, Kevin, will be on 106.7 out of Giles County and 103.1 out of Lawrence County, and also at xsportsradio.com. So
that's going to be an interesting game, too. Giles County winning state for Tennessee, and they will be playing a very tough Southeast Regional team.
Yeah, Sarasota, Florida was also in the World Series last year. Of course, they were much like Lawrence County. They got the benefit of being the host team last year. I actually take that back. They did not. It was in Ocala was a host team, but I think they won their state, so I think that's how they got in. But, yeah, Giles County is going to be out to prove that they belong here because they didn't have to go through the Southeast Regional. A lot of people are kind of saying maybe they don't necessarily belong here, and they, just because they got the fortune of being a state champion. But I know for sure, I've talked to a lot of their coaches and players, they're out to prove we belong. They've got a very tough first draw, but a good showing here will prove to a lot of doubters that they do belong here.
And that game is coming up again, 8 o'clock Central Time, and you can go to xsportsradio.com and click on one of the links right there to see the live feed stream, or you can check out the live broadcast via the TuneIn Radio app. Many ways to get that game if you're in Florida and you want to check that out, or if you're here local in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and you're not able to make it out to the park, you can check it out that way. But once again, our final and our first game of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series, Southern Brazoria County, Texas, beating Westchester, California by a final of 8-3. For Ricky Nelson on camera, Bethany Nelson on camera, our technical director, Ricky Lee Nelson, Nick Moore helping with some running issues, and Cam Mashburn right here. I'm Kevin Kilpatrick. We will see you on the next game. This is the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Network.
Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop into real, true citizens.
At the Babe Ruth League, we are not only developing the next generation of ball players, we are developing the next generation.